This is a demonstration of a prototype called the Thexr.space. It stands for the extended reality dot space. And right now there's just an empty home page, forgive the styling, and you can navigate to a spaces link. So spaces will give you a list of existing spaces. This will probably go away later so that people can manage their spaces privately, but currently these links are all public because there's no required login yet. And in here, anybody can delete a space. And now there's no spaces. You can click the new space button, and the styling's awful, but you can give your space a new name. So this is my new space. Something about this place. And you'll see that there's a new entry for this space. You can create another one. My secret game escape room. So now there's two spaces, and each space gets a unique ID. It's random, so it's a little bit ugly looking in the URL, but you can enter the space, so it becomes each space is a independent meeting room. So if you were to share the URL, if you shared this unique URL, other people could join you. And in fact, let's do that. So let me create another window. Your presence can only be in one browser at a time. So I'm going to open an incognito window. You're automatically given some session ID, so you didn't have to log in at all. And this person on the right, let's say, is your friend. It's going to join you. And you're presented with a enter modal. This is to get some user interaction before we actually connect the messages with each other. So we're going to hit enter, and at this point it would ask you for some permissions here. I've already done that in the incognito window. I think it will maybe ask me. Okay, so it asks permissions for the microphone so that you can have shared audio. And on the desktop, I'm on the desktop, you can click and drag to rotate your camera. And if I back up a little bit, here's the simple representation of an avatar here. This is just a box for your head and two little boxes for your hands. So I can turn this guy around, and we're looking at his front now. So if I turn all the way around, you'll see each other, and you can see each other nod and shake your head like so. Okay, so there's some simple avatar presence. Your mic is muted by default, and on desktop you can click here to unmute yourself, which will lead to some feedback because I'm on the same machine here. And if we close the browser on the right, it will detect the presence. So as soon as you close it, that person has left the room. And it's a very simple scene. It's just got a plain two colored boxes and a cylinder. And in VR, it would, if you're using Oculus Quest, it would detect you're in a headset and launch you into immersive mode. I've enabled a plugin on my Chrome browser so that I can emulate that for the purposes of this screen recording. So it looks something like this. Let me actually open up the development tool so I can open up this plugin. And you'll see here, so it'll kind of look like this, left eye, right eye, but I'm combining it. I'm going to pull the left hand controller, and you see here's the menu controls. Now on the Oculus Quest, you have the X and Y button. This would be the X button, and this would be the Y button. So you can toggle your mic muted. So this is similar to VR chat. If you click that X button, you'll toggle your mic muted or unmuted status. And if you click on this, it'll bring up an in-world menu so that you can interact with it. You can toggle that, and this will toggle the microphone. Let me exit immersive just so we can get a better view of that. This is the same as clicking this thing here to bring in that immersive menu. This is totally not styled and it's very rough right now, but the idea is that you can make some simple modifications to this space. Right now you can also use the hand controllers, click the grip button to grab and move these objects. You can click on entities here to see a list of the current entities. So here we see this red cylinder. You can click on this to inspect it, so it shows you that the color is red here and that it's holdable. These are what I call components. You can't modify them yet, but maybe in the future I'll add some enhancements here. But you can't delete them or modify them yet. But you can add new entities. So if I click on the add entity, you can click on one of these primitives. So a box will create a box here, and it creates it where you're facing. So just to keep it simple for now, so you can create a capsule, and here's a capsule here. And logs is kind of a feature for myself to debug while I'm wearing the headset. So if I click on logs, it just shows me a bunch of messages I'm logging for myself, so I can see what's going on with the clicks and buttons and so forth. So we can close that window. I probably won't flush this out. Well, I will flush this out, but it's not my goal to produce a very fully featured menu system for creating things, because I think it's more fun to create things in VR, in world. So I'll probably create things like paintbrushes and pens and things like that to allow you to collaboratively draw in the space. So it's not my goal to create Maya or Photoshop or Blender in the browser here. That wouldn't be too fun. So yeah, let me know what you think. Please test to see if the grabbing and moving thing objects works. Try to place a few things and invite a friend to see if the audio works, if you can hear each other. Let me know if there's any bugs. Thanks.